Previously on Survivor. A Survivor Summit was announced to the players, and Cooper, Tarowski, Matthew, and Mitch fought to either swap tribes or forfeit immunity.
I hope, you understand we've just talking to
Of course,
you.
right. We're just on
There's only so much trust we can put in you guys.
Totally understand.
After Tarowski lied about his position in the game, Maison forfeited, much to Brittany's annoyance. With all eyes on Mitch, an original group of 4 within the Maison 6 contemplated making a move now to ensure he and Liz did not gain too much power over Jess.
Okay, yeah, sure, this 4. I honestly had forgotten about it.
I'm being honest, I want Mitch on this week.
And even though Tribal Council got a little weird,
I should have said Polygon.
Mitch was spared, and Jess was sent home. 13 are left, who will be voted out tonight.
Tried so hard to make it more fun.
So we
also thought it'd be funny because we thought you guys would freak out.
Yeah.
We thought you would freak out. We obviously know how our 6 has been going the whole time with split down the line, but also each pairing up. So we're like, okay, this would be funny. We thought you'd be uncomfortable.
It was a little uncomfortable.
This has gone on long enough. Sorry if I just shut you down there, George. I don't know what's happening right now. Can we move on?
That's what we were kind of hoping what was gonna happen.
It worked.
I just liked watching them kind of squirm because I honestly feel like these 3 guys don't have feelings necessarily, or they aren't able to express them in a way that they just all seem so I don't know, I don't know anything about them as people really. They just are they only talk strategy and they just seem really robotic to me. So it was just so funny to watch them get uncomfortable about the love triangles and everything.
My plan was to say, it's interesting how romance is playing out in the skit, but I couldn't remember the shape I wanted to use.
Yeah, and I was supposed to say something oh, love can blindside us.
Yeah.
I just couldn't get it out
Yeah.
without laughing. I kind of failed, so.
Tribal went as expected tonight. We voted the same way we've been voting with the Alliance of 6, and I felt really bad voting out Jess because I know that when she raised her hand and she said she felt safe, I honestly didn't think she thought that we were that close, that she would trust me to that extent. But I know that I was probably one of the stronger relationships that she had, and so I felt really bad voting her off. But the people in this Alliance of 6, this love polygon, they really are so committed to this Alliance of 6, and I tried talking to Brittany, Leia, and Mitch about potentially voting off Matthew or Cam, preferably Matthew, but they just weren't willing to do it, and I wasn't gonna push that hard because I didn't want to look I wasn't loyal to this Alliance of 6, which is so important to these 5 people. So I had to just go along with them and vote Jess, and that kind of sucked.
Week 1, even though Maison won immunity, Matt and I set out to form a group of 6 that included us 2, Mitch, Brittany, Leia, and Liz, and that group has carried us through to the final 6 of Maison so far. All of our votes have been unanimous, but now obviously something's got to give. And that's why the sling has come off. Last time you guys saw me, I was still clutching my arm up here. It still hurts, I'm not gonna lie, but look at that. Oh yeah, I can almost, yeah, we're getting there. Definitely will not be wearing the sling to any more competitions or tribal councils. So myself and Leia set out to ensure our safety for a couple more weeks. We have teamed up with Matt and Brittany, and we're now focused on getting Liz out in the next vote. Liz has been someone that seems to be only looking out for herself, has been the most aggressive in terms of vocalizing, wanting to get either Matt or myself out. So that seems like pretty much a no-brainer. The girls seem like they're on board. That should be the plan going forward if we were to lose another immunity challenge.
Just assessing up to this point how my game's been going, I feel pretty good about it, honestly. I think I've done a decent job of managing, short-term view versus long-term view. that short-term pre-merge goal of, just survive. All you're supposed to do pre-merge is just not get voted out. Like, haven't played too aggressive, haven't tried to shake the boat, kept the alliance strong. Maison 6 has fulfilled its purpose so far. Like, if this was Final 6, I'd win from here on out. So the longer I keep Maison 6, the longer the 6 survives, the better my chances are of winning the game. Because within the 6, we've got Liz's number 6 and Mitch's number 5, pretty much, based on the OG4 alliance. I do feel just a little bit nervous in the sense that, I've built up sort of like such a strong game, and kind of the analogy I'm going to use is like a house of cards, pretty much. So it's like I'm building this house of cards, but a house of cards is only so sturdy. It can be knocked down easily. So that's kind of how everybody's game is, though. But if my house of cards is the tallest, does that mean that if anybody has a chance to knock one down, they're going to knock mine down? Like I said, it's not too hard to knock down anybody's house of cards, no matter how big, how tall, how intricate. It just takes one punch and you're gone. So that's pretty much how I feel like a game is right now. Like, all it takes is one bad vote, one idle play, one person getting the wrong idea, and all of a sudden everything I've built up will get knocked to the ground.
Apparently, Brittany is not closer to Liz than she is with Matt. She is much, much closer, as I suspected, with Matt. And I got this information from Leia, who shared with me that her, Cam, Matt, and Brittany had coordinated a alliance of 4 that would either vote off me or Liz after this week's Jess vote.
I've known about this, and I was always planning on telling you about it. I knew about it since last night, but I really thought I could fix it so that it would be fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm stuck.
Okay.
So
obviously that's very concerning to me, and I give even more props to Leia because she didn't have to take my back on this one. I don't have an idol. She would have been in the majority. She could have just said, Mitchell, you're not worth playing with at this point, and I would have got it, but she didn't do that, and I really, really appreciate that. Leia's okay with those 4, including herself, as long as Liz is the next to go and not myself. Because I think both of those guys are closer to me than they are with Liz. I know Leia's closer to me than she is with Liz, so it all comes down to convincing Brittany. It's 3v1, so you'd think it'd be obvious, but with Brittany, nothing's ever obvious with Brittany. She's a whirlwind, and Leia was showing me some text messages that Liz had sent the girls, and just Liz was just playing two sides. She was texting the girls saying Mitch thinks he's close with I'm his number 1 when he's not, and that we're just using him as a number and he'll be the first to go, and just not, that's not what you do when you're in an alliance. I think she lost all credibility, all the faith I had in Liz. But from what I heard, Brittany's also very mad at Liz for targeting Matthew. So at the moment, it seems like almost all of those 4 are scared of Liz and don't want Liz around. And hopefully, if we have to vote again after Jess, Liz is the next to go.
The guys, at least Matthew and Cam, are going to throw a vote at a girl. And Matthew and Cam, the most likely girl they would throw votes at is me, because Matthew has a connection to Brittany and Cam has a connection to Leia. So I'm gonna have to really start thinking about what my best move is, and I'm gonna have to start playing a really personal, more selfish game, because losing Jess, I lost a little bit of a safety net. So this week's gonna be interesting, and I think the alliance of 6, we're gonna have to really, if we want to stick together as long as possible, we're gonna have to win.
let's see, what has been going on? I went back to New York. I slept. Oh, thank goodness I slept. You know, I need that for mental health and physical health. So hopefully that'll allow Neela to win this challenge. There's some talk about a tribe swap or something like a merge. I wish I knew. I think I have short-term memory loss, like actually, because my teacher asked me if I gave in my paper today. No, wait. No, I gave in my paper, and I forgot that I did. And then she was like, you already gave it in. When I tried to give in another copy, and I was like, oh, did I? Hopefully that doesn't like impede my game moves mentally or physically. It hasn't so far. It's only happened like 3 times, the short-term memory loss, but it was like 3 times within the last week, so I don't know if that's a lot or little. We'll see. I think I'm gonna go to the bathroom now. I was thinking of taking you guys along with me, but I feel like George would not appreciate that. So I'm gonna say bye for now. Here is my mirror. Bye! Look at that, you can see me in the mirror. Am I kidding? I have to take you guys along to the bathroom with me. So now I'm gonna go pee, so I'll BRB. That rhymed. And then I think I'm gonna wash my hands and then we'll catch up. That's life. That song's been stuck in my head this whole entire day, and literally ever since I got here. I don't know why, because I'm not here every single time since I get this bed. And now it's time to wash the hands.
Fall Angela and I met at NYPD in order to kind of solidify ourselves as an alliance, and also Kara was supposed to be there, but she didn't show up. But I think that it was a really good experience for me and Angela's relationship, and I think since that meeting, the two of us have really started to be much more open and truthful with each other. And I think that I can really trust Angela, and I think that
This past weekend was fall break, and me and 3 of my good friends went up to Pictured Rocks in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan to go camping. And the night before that, we went to Christmas, Michigan, a tiny little town with streets literally named after Christmas, such as Mrs. Claus Avenue and St. Nicholas this, and all sorts of hilarious stuff. And in Christmas, Michigan, we decided to celebrate my friend's birthday by drinking a couple beers and then going to the casino. In our hotel room, I realized something terrible. You see, it wasn't with just 3 of my friends. One of those friends was Alex Tarowski, and with Survivor not on my mind and having a good time and maybe with a beer, I accidentally snap-storied Alex Tarowski.
damn, I like
The Snapchat wasn't pretty. It was like a good 30 or 40 seconds of Tarowski and my buddies dancing. I mean, it would be hard to misconstrue this as anything but us being good friends. And on top of that, I used a geo tag which said Christmas, Michigan, so it wasn't like we could have played it off like we ran into each other in Ann Arbor or at a party or something. No, it was very clearly in a hotel room in Christmas, Michigan, a good 7.5 hours away from where we live.
We just got to make sure that our story is exactly precise and that we both know it detail by detail.
Yeah. You're just gonna say that you also last minute went camping with your friends.
Right. Do we go to Picture Rock? Is there any other places near there we could have gone?
I don't think so. I think Picture Rocks is we both went to Picture Rocks.
Alright. But we didn't see each other after that night. We did
not see each other after that night.
We had a
Picture Rocks is huge, and we went to 2 completely different places.
Right. So that night, did we stay at the same hotel?
Yes, that's why we ran into each other.
We had a mutual friend? Or a friend of mine knew a friend of yours, something like that? And obviously, like we were having such a good night. We had just gotten home from the casino. We all lost money, but that's beside the point. But like, I was so irate with him. I've honestly maybe never, in like the 3+ years that I've known him, I've never been more mad at him. I confiscated his phone, and I did damage control.
That Snap story was then viewed by Angela and Akshay. Yeah. Angela messaged me on Snapchat. Oh wow.
Him and I both know how important it is that no one knows the extent of our relationship.
We met up in the hotel, and we saw each other, and just were like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
This was just one of the worst nights of my life. We were devastated. Tracy was furious at me, and I was furious at myself. There have been coincidences before about our relationship. Stuff like, on top of us having the same name, we live in the same neighborhood and we show up at places at kind of the same time, and we probably sound exactly alike and have really similar mannerisms. We have been friends for 3 years. It would be really, really incredible if we could actually get them to believe that somehow doesn't show that we are friends. That's still what we're trying to do. There's no other option at this point.
And when we see each other, we gotta be like, oh man, how's the rest of your trip? Something like...
Yes.
Like,
so, what is that interaction going to look like?
One of us gets there first, and they tell the rest of the crew what the deal was. The next person shows up last out of all 7, so that the one person has a chance to tell the rest. I'll get there first, and I'll be like, what did you guys all do during fall break? Or they'll say, what did I do? Oh, I went camping, and get this, I fucking ran into fall.
All right, y'all, have a good break? Yeah. Ready to get to today's immunity challenge?
Yeah.
No? Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. First, I gotta take it back from Neela. Sorry. You did get to touch it, yes. All right. Everybody, drop your books. We are swapping.
We actually have to drop this. I've got a little bit of blood on it, no one be concerned.
What? This is how we're gonna do it, all right? It's gonna be a schoolyard pick with one captain from each tribe. The captains will be decided by a rock draw, so let's get to the rock draw. On the count of 3, you'll reveal the black rocks are the captains. 1, 2, 3, reveal. Who are the captains? Liz and Lavana. Lavana, Liz, please come on over here.
Can we keep the rocks?
This is how this is gonna work, all right? They're gonna alternate picks. Since Liz was originally on the Maison tribe, she'll pick from a Neela, and then a Maison, and a Neela, so on and so forth. Lavana's gonna do the same thing. She'll pick Maison first, okay? We're gonna flip a coin to decide who gets to have first pick.
Okay.
Lavana, please try.
Well, I know you're Mitch, right?
Yes. All right, Mitch is the first one picked. Is part of the new Neela tribe.
I didn't know first. Okay.
All right. Cooper is part of the new Maison tribe. Lavana, you're up.
Do I choose from Neela now?
Yes, you pick from Neela.
Akshay?
Akshay stays on Neela. Liz, you choose a Maison.
Okay, Leia.
Leia stays on the new Maison tribe. Next up, Lavana. Pick a Maison. You choose a Maison.
Just kidding. Matthew.
Matthew is part of the new Neela tribe.
Yes.
Liz, you're up. All right, Liz, what's your pick?
Who's Tarowski? Tarowski? Which one is that? Okay, you.
Tarowski, part of the new Maison tribe.
Bring it in.
Hey!
Paul.
Welcome.
Paul stays on Neela. Liz, another pick.
Flashbacks to like high school. I don't know. I was.
Cam stays on the new Maison tribe. Lana?
How you doing? I will take Brittany. Too.
This is just like
Sorry, I don't know.
You have one more pick from the Neela tribe.
Oh, right. Okay, Angela.
Kara, we want you. Well, actually, we have an even 6 on both tribes, and Kara is the odd woman out. Have everybody get into the same positions, but Kara, I need you to come over here. So, Kara was not picked by any of you in the schoolyard pick. Kara, how do you feel about that?
I'm really offended, guys. Ouch.
But there is a positive to this. Kara this week is safe from Tribal Council. The tribe that loses the immunity challenge today will go to Tribal Council, vote someone off, and Kara will replace that member per the 6th person. All good? Alright, we're going to give you a couple minutes to get used to your new tribes, and then we'll get to the next immunity challenge. Alright, Kara.
God damn it!
You're going to have to hang out over here.
I know, yeah.
I did not. I thought if it was going to happen, it would have happened last week. Yeah. Or last week. 13 to 3.
I was just throwing in another twist. So.
I
don't know.
14.
We're gonna play a game of Nukem, okay? Basically, that entails a game of volleyball plus dodgeball. You guys haven't played it before, this is how you play. There's 2 rectangles on each side of this tennis court. That is the boundary for you. Basically how the game goes is you throw the ball over, try to catch the ball. If it hits the ground next to you, you are eliminated. If it hits you and then hits the ground, you're also eliminated, okay? You catch the ball with one hand, you can bring someone back into your tribe. You have 3 seconds to either catch the ball and throw it over, or to pass it to someone else and they throw it. You can only pass to one person. You have to throw it underhand. We are playing a best of 3 series, so first tribe to 2 wins will win the game. You win when you eliminate all the other players on the other tribe.
Depends on where they're throwing it too. Like kind of watch like if they're throwing it more in the front or the back.
Seems like shorts. Short
They've
seems
been
the way
doing
to go.
short, yeah.
I feel like 3 up front still.
Yeah.
Survivors ready? Go! Which has it, throws it back.
Side.
It was side. You can do a little side. I said you can do side, sadly. Leia's out for Maison. Throws it over. Oh, it falls down. Oh, they catch it. Ooh. 1 out for both tribes. Leia, you're in. There you go. All right, Matthew, you're out. It's now down to 3 versus 6. Cooper eliminated. Oh! Tarowski goes deep. Ball's eliminated. Down to 2 for Neela. You're good. It's down to just Brittany for Neela. You got 3 seconds. 1. She's still against 5. And it is too much. Maison takes the first point. Best of 3. Maison needs 1 more win to win immunity. All right, round 2. Maison up 1 game. Survivors ready. Go. Eliminated. Oh, Matthew grabs 1 hand. Cooper grabs 1 hand. Go. Oh, that was overhand, Cam. Yep. Ooh, Vana tips it, but Akshay's got it. It's okay to hit the net. Yeah. And he's out. He's down the 3. Again, Neela losing member. Down the 2. This is it. Ooh, Akshay eliminates Liz. 3 versus 2. Vana eliminated. Down to just Akshay. Maison eliminates Akshay and they win immunity. Cooper eliminated. Leia's got the ball. And that is it. Maison wins immunity. Neela going to Tribal Council this week. Way to pick a good team.
Yeah, no, that was the most stressful moment of my entire life for you guys. I was like, but
You know, we see that there are cracks. We're like, this is a great opportunity for us to break them up, keep ourselves strong, go into a merge, link back up with the Maison 6, possibly go Maison 6 strong to the end. Like, that was our grand plan the whole time.
Like, what happened when you arrived at the challenge? Did you tell people?
Yeah, no one even made a big deal of it. So I said to everyone, I was like, I ran the thaw, it was crazy, and everyone was kind of amused by it.
Who was there at that point when you said it?
Kara, Cooper, Akshay. And I saw a look on Akshay's face. I don't really know what to make of it. He looked like kind of upset I was telling people, as if he wanted me to keep it a secret so he could use it against me. Yeah, everyone else just found it funny.
I think it's fine.
I think it's fine.
I think it's also good that we're on separate tribes.
I agree.
And I think this will be interesting.
I don't think it's going to last very long.
Have you guys been watching Real Survivor? I have.
We missed an episode.
Yeah, it's on right now.
We could have watched it together.
I don't know. At first, I wasn't that upset about it because honestly, I was in a bit of a precarious position on my tribe if we would have lost that challenge. But when I found out that I was going to be team captain, I was so freaked out.
So what was your guys' reaction to seeing Lana picked as the captain? I thought Kara had a pretty strong reaction.
She's just a character.
Yeah, she's also like very spacey. Like she definitely was up there and just had no idea what she was doing.
Yeah, she was like, I just kept picking and it was great.
I just had this feeling that I was going to pick the Black Rock and I was going to be team captain, which was like my worst nightmare because for one thing, I'm really indecisive, and for another thing, I'm kind of a people pleaser, and I really, really hate making people mad at me. I hate when people are upset because of me, and so I was just so stressed out the whole time that I was trying to pick people for my tribe. You know, there were so many factors, like who would make sense to have on my tribe, you know, socially and strategically for my game, who could win challenges, because I really wanted to win this one because I just wasn't sure how things were going to go, and I knew that, you know, I did want to think to some extent of who I was putting on the other tribe by not picking them.
I didn't expect that with the last person, like, thing where she's just gonna
Yeah. I thought it was gonna be like Exile Island or something we were talking about.
We have this box, we're gonna put it inside of it.
I really wanted to make sure that I wasn't putting all the guys on one tribe where they could maybe like bond even further. And then I trusted Brittany enough. I really truly trust Brittany, and she's the only person that I really, really trust. And so I really honestly just trusted her enough that I thought I could put her on the other tribe and she would stick with me. And Leia, when I was kind of talking to her about it and trying to get her opinion, she said, you know, she didn't think that they would target Brittany. She figured they would target one of the guys. I picked Angela because we had a little bit of a connection. She lived in Oxford last year. I was an RA in Oxford, so she kind of knew of me. And I had heard that she had kind of been on the outs, so I thought that she would be potentially an easy vote. I thought that she would go with us, maybe. So it made sense for me to pick her, and I didn't know Kara at all. So, and I had heard that Kara was kind of in the majority on Mila. So
it's the worst feeling, like having to choose between people. You know? Like you must be choosing right now.
I am in such... How did I get in this terrible position? If Angela flips, Tarowski's gonna play his idol, because I'm pretty sure he's the one that has it. It's him or Thal.
We don't go to tribals for one thing.
I know, we just need to not go to tribal.
Okay, if we did go to tribal though...
Tarowski's gonna play his idol, Angela's gonna flip, and it's gonna be me.
I feel like not doing anything is dumb.
I feel like doing something right now is like pushing it.
I want to talk to
I want to
Angela
wait a
right
little bit.
now.
I want to wait at least a day. You need to tell. So you and Liz are talking to Angela.
We're gonna talk to Angela right away. I don't see any reason not to.
Yeah, I mean, you know Angela's on the bottom though. So
She told us that.
Yeah.
Can you do this much for me? Can you do anything to protect Mitch?
I can tell Akshay and Livana pretty much who they should go for.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Will you do that now and tell them Matt or Brittany? What do you want me to do?
I mean, if you pull Angela, which I'm assuming you will, let's be honest, she knows she's on the bottom. No matter how much, I know she talks to Thal and Akshay, but no matter how much they tried to rope her in, she knows she's on the bottom of the 7. The minute you and Liz talk to her, she's gonna be all over that.
You need to reach out to Cam.
Okay.
Start a guys group chat or whatever. See what Cam says.
I'm gonna fill him in on what me, Mitch, and Matthew talked about.
Okay.
Possibly when we get to the merge, me, both the Alexes, Mitch, Matthew, and Cam.
Good. Make him trust you. Tell him whatever you need to make him trust you. From Cam's perspective, if the girls can loop in Angela, he's safe. And he's right.
Yeah.
So make friends with him so that he wants to target Tarowski, not you.
This is not good though, because if Tarowski has the idol, which there's a decent chance he does, this is not gonna end well.
He can't lose.
Yeah, so we wanted to meet with you, so just kind of see where you're at, because oh my god, we would like to work with you. Yeah. So
I thought maybe for some reason there wouldn't be a swap just because there was an opportunity for it. So I wasn't sure, but I just had this awful feeling and I knew it was going to happen, and it did. So I was not excited at all because I was finally starting to feel comfortable and Mila again after being on the bottom week after week, and I felt like this was the first time I was going to be safe. But it was also exciting because the next vote I would have taken with Mila would have kind of shown my place in the tribe. I would have picked to work with, Thal and Kara and Alex Tarowski. So I guess in some ways it was a blessing because I'm still kind of, people really don't know who, my main group is yet, which is always an advantage. Almost immediately after the challenge, Liz and Leah contacted me wanting to meet up. Honestly, it was kind of just an unproductive conversation. It's basically them just telling me that they eventually want to do a girls alliance and they want to work with me, but they're not willing to flip on any of their members, which is all right, if you're not gonna flip, why would I flip? If I flip and you guys are clearly showing me how tight you are, that does not make me feel good at all.
I trust Tarowski a lot, on our team, and he's actually the thing is, I feel they can tell you, we'll keep you, we want to work together, and, Mila, but at the end of the day, how much do they really care, you know? I feel if it's best for them to, get rid of you,
The whole 3-3 thing is just terrible. Screwed us over so bad because we just know that, both teams want to stay together, and so that thought of having a tie and, potentially going to Rocks is so scary. And also nobody wants to flip either, just because both teams are really tight, and if you do flip, you're gonna be on the bottom of that tribe, so there's really no point.
I mean, we'll see how the other tribe goes. Yeah. But I guess so you're more likely to think about
Like, I'd like Mila to stay together, but like, I'm willing to like consider things, especially after like, find out. I have to think about it too.
Right, yeah. I mean, it's
about,
like, it depends on a lot of things and like seeing, you know, like how close the guys are getting and stuff too.
As long as no other challenges are Newcomb, it should be fun.
Yep.
I've never even heard of Newcomb until tonight, so.
Well, you know, I was not surprised. I was like, just my luck, I would get chosen to be captain. First, I was just very confused. I was like, I'm gonna have to draw a line. If I'm captain, right, I'm gonna have to choose who I want from my side and who I want from the other side. And I know nothing about the other tribe whatsoever. And with my tribe, I have a pretty solid alliance with everyone. So I was like, where do I go from here? You know, every week.
Yeah, you guys haven't been in a while, so.
I was half excited to be on the new tribe, half not excited to be on the new tribe because I know I was very safe on my own tribe, that I would not be getting out until like ever. But I didn't really even know what a tribal swap was at that point. So I was just excited to like go into it. I was like, what's going on? I wish I knew. And then, so it was half excitement and then half confusion and then half sadness. Well, then a third excitement, a third confusion, a third happiness. Yeah, you catch my thought.
I just don't know what she's thinking
And
at
then,
the moment.
right before her first pick, she picked Mitch. She was mouthing to everyone, Mitch, I'm picking Mitch. And then she was like, oh, what's your name? Jeez.
Afterwards, after the challenge, she was just trying to like, she was just like, okay, so like this didn't go great, or like the 6 of us were saying this didn't go great, but like I think it's okay, like we just need to like try hard next time, and we'll still have like 6 people because Kara will come, like just like talking about this like we have to go to tribal council, like what are you beating around the bush for? Like, it's just like so, and everyone's just like, what? Anyway, then she, me, Mitch, and Brittany all walked off together, and then like she left, and then Brittany left, and then it was just Mitch and I.
Our 6 were pretty solid, just 'cause we had like an intermixing of a lot of different one-on-ones that formed into a 6 somehow.
Okay.
But there's some people that are, those 2 are, I'd say, the closest to out of anybody in our group.
Really?
And
so
like
like
Matthew and Brittany are closer than any other 6 original Maison.
And he's worried about it, especially because he is the most distant from anyone on the tribe. He's the most distant from Brittany.
Okay.
And so he was saying that he feels like that's a twosome right there, but he also feels somewhat close to Matthew.
They told me that too.
Yeah.
There is if you aren't close with Lavana or Akshay, we want to me and Matthew especially want to work with you guys because we talked with Cooper and Alex.
Yeah.
And they had mentioned that they're close with you. And there was one other person.
And Kara, actually.
Yes, and Kara. Yes.
Yeah. So they told me about that, and we get her next. So like. I honestly feel like Lavana and Akshay are going to try and target me.
And basically we just left it at like if Akshay and Lavana are 2 and Matthew and Brittany are 2, then us 2 should be a 2. He said let's just like keep that like very private for now though, and hopefully we'll just be able to like pass intel back and forth to each other.
I'm glad we got put on the same team.
Yeah, I would like.
There were some people.
Especially since I didn't get put with any of the people that I feel
You
like
must have
slightly
been
comfortable
really
with. I was like,
anxious
holy
then.
shit! But I was like, okay, Matthew and Mitch are on my tribe. Like, there might be something there because of you guys talking to Cooper.
And then I said, once Kara comes back, like that's another number for us. I was like, I didn't want to make it seem like I'm so close to her, but I was like, she's like a pretty passive player, but like I think she would definitely vote with us. Yeah, that was it. But it felt like a very good like conversation.
Yeah,
with
he's
him.
a good guy.
I think Mitch is totally
All right, Ron.
So what'd you hear at the summit? I'll tell you if that's true or not.
So Cooper and Trust, basically they told me the only 2 people they didn't trust that much were Angela, I think, and Lavana.
The blue looks good. I love the blue. It looks pretty good. Don't get me wrong, I love Maison, I love yellow, but I mean the blue just looks better on me, doesn't it? But also, I don't love New Neela just because the colors. I just love New Neela in general. You know why? It's because I am in power. And you're probably thinking to yourself, wait a minute. How is Matthew still in power? He was in power on Maison, on his old tribe. But, to get swapped onto a new tribe, onto a different tribe with only 2 of his allies, how can Matthew still be in control? Is he just that good? Hell yes, I'm just that good.
So who was controlling that? Like I know you said like Cooper was back and forth, but do you think it was
with Dahl and Tarowski? That's the strongest pair in the game.
That doesn't surprise me.
And then
first thing Akshay tells me is like, so what have you heard about our tribe? So I'm like, well, you know, Cooper and Alex Tarowski told me some things at the summit, and then Akshay says, I'm going to stop you right there. Everything they told you was a lie. I'm like, what? So he's like, the strongest two people in control are Alex Stahl and Alex Tarowski. It's like those two are kind of in control and they're buddy-buddy and they're running things. He says, so Kara is with the two Alexes, which is kind of what I thought before. She seems to just be, you know, going with whatever they say, hiding behind two big meat shields. You know, decent strategy. You know, Akshay just kind of feels left out. He feels like they're ganging up on him. So he tells me pretty much, he says like, hey, I feel like I'm at the bottom. So as we're saying this, I'm just thinking to myself like, man, Neela does not know how to play this. Old Neela. You know, this is why I put a plan in place literally on night one. You don't want to have fractures. So I'm like, would you be willing to vote with us if you guys feel like you're on the bottom? He's like, yes, I would. I was like, music to my ears. I love that. Like, I was worried this was going to be a 3-3 kind of split thing. Akshay's coming to me right now, like literally 5 minutes after the swap and saying, nope, like it's not going to be a 3-3. I'm willing to toss Alex Stahl or Levana under the bus. Love it. I love it. Love it. It's awesome.
The day we got the clue was a Wednesday.
Yeah.
I went Wednesday afternoon. It was already completely dug through. There was no idol.
Oh, really?
And Tarowski has a class Wednesday morning on North Campus.
Yeah.
So his made the most sense. And he's playing hard enough to where that would make sense. Dahl,
yeah, to go look for it, yeah.
Dahl, I think, knows about it because those two are so close.
Yeah.
And they've made like kind of cryptic comments.
Yeah.
And so I think that if it came down to it, Tarowski would give Dahl his idol. I don't think he'd give Kara his idol.
Akshay also tells me, I'm like, do you think Thal might have an idol? And he says to me, well, he's like, I'm not sure who has the idol on my tribe. He said if he had to guess, he would think it'd be Alex Tarowski. And then he tells me, but he might be worried, Akshay might be worried that Alex Tarowski, if he thinks Alex Thal is in danger, would pass his idol. Basically, cross tribe, pass idol, give it to Alex Thal.
Whereas you vote with us, 2-2-2.
We're good.
On a revote.
We're good.
Exactly.
And then so either way, she'll be.
I mean, that would honestly like.
That would be perfect scenario.
Yeah, like Tarowski and Cooper told us to work with Thal, if like Mitch and I to work with him if we ever swapped on a tribe. But I feel like he's such a big threat. Like he'll be a challenge threat. Like if we could get him now, like post swap.
So he's like, yeah, that'd be a plan. I was like, okay, cool. I'll keep you in the loop. I'll let you know. I'll talk to Mitch. I'll talk to Brittany. I'll see if Alex Thal said anything about you. But I was like, let's plan on voting together here. And Akshay even told me too, as we're talking, he's telling me, I'd be willing to roll with you guys too post-merge, take off the Neelas. Honestly, if he feels like he's on the bottom, that's his best play.
If I tell him we've got a free vote to get rid of one of the Neelas, they'll be on board.
Yeah.
They'll be on board. All right, I like it.
I get to take out all my
Yes, I like it.
I love this. It's
I like
perfect.
it.
All right, I'm about to get on a call with Matthew and Brittany. All right, do you want to go first, Matthew, or should I?
You guys go first so I can walk to my car and I'll talk to you. Like, I can call you.
Yeah, so basically we were just walking to the Ugly and he started like spilling. He goes to me, I feel really, really scared where I sit right now. And I go, oh, like, why is that? And he goes, well, Levana and Akshay are like very, very close and have tried voting out me or somebody I'm close to like in the past, or no, past vote. And like, I just told him like we'd rather work with you than Levana and Akshay, but that's a decision we could make in the future.
We all want to stick together, and we kind of knew that going in, but we just reaffirmed that, us three on Maison, we all want to stick together. We're going to vote together.
At the moment, I'm just in a state of confusion right now. I'm still trying to figure out.
There's so much going on.
But it sounds like the more they talk, the more it implies that they aren't that close. So
At least we know that us three are voting together.
Yes.
At least we know that.
My tribe of Neela consists of me, Matthew, we stuck together, which I don't know. I honestly didn't want us to be together because I could 100% trust him on the other side to tell me everything. But Matthew and I are together, and then Mitch. And I honestly, like, at first I was like, oh no, I'm with Mitch. It is the best thing that has happened to me in this game so far, being put with Mitch, because all I talk about is how much I am not a fan of Mitch the Snitch. And Mitch, like, because he's on my tribe now, we've been talking, we talk on the phone. Like, I actually kind of like him, and he's probably doing his whole Mitch Charm thing where he talks to every single person on every single tribe, which is he's totally doing still. But it's finally allowed me to talk to him, which is good, because within our alliance of 6, it was weird how I never talked to Mitch, and Liz never talked to Matthew. So at least this is allowing Mitch and I to finally talk.
It'll be interesting to see, like, I don't know, like, it sounds like none of us want to reach out to Levana, but No.
Lavana is straight up psycho. She's just insane. I don't think it's a maturity thing because I myself am not really mature. Just even when Claire and George asked her a question, she was just like twirling her bandana all around, and I'm just like, what are you doing?
So actually was like, let me tell you what's going on your side, or on our side. And so I was like, well, I kind of know some stuff because Cooper and Alex Tarowski never told me at the summit. And he's like, he's basically like, well, I'm guessing that's a lie. Because he said he feels like he's kind of on the bottom. He's like, what if we split? And I was like, okay. Honestly, what he sounded like, he would be willing to split with us if we wanted to. 2 votes on Axel, 2 votes on Lavana.
If we keep Akshay, we're all Akshay's got at this point based on what he said. So, better for us. Which is why I really, I'm pushing hard to keep Akshay. And I feel like I'll be able to get it through with Mitch and Brittany. Brittany's on board. Like, Mitch hasn't said definitively whether he's on board, but I think he will be. So, that's one of the big benefits to keeping Akshay. But, we might not get to decide if we get to keep Akshay if there's an idol played. It might be out of our control. If Thal, latches onto our plan and realizes that he should play an idol. But also, if he plays an idol and stays in the game, like, that's really bad. Because say Akshay, say him and Lavana are writing down Akshay's name, but still aren't 100% sure. Thal plays his idol, 2 votes on Akshay, Akshay goes home. Well, now, what's left is Thal, who's mad at us because we voted for him and lied to him, Lavana, who's mad at us because we voted for her ally Thal and lied to her, and then Kara back in the game, who's tied with Thal. She'll be, close to them. Now we're looking at a 3-3 split, and things will get interesting. Because I'm not willing. It's very going to Rocks is so scary. But it's I've got to protect Mitch and Brittany. They protect my game, but how far am I willing to go? Put my game on the line here, put it to chance just to save Mitch and Brittany.
Matthew, I'm just very annoyed with lately. This is a very, very long rant. But Matthew annoys me because I think he needs to be in complete control of me. I'm his little puppet. But, he doesn't realize, I don't think he realizes that, I'm not dumb. So in order to talk to Akshay on my own, in the most natural way, it sort of had to be through Matthew telling him, hey, I talked to Brittany, how about you reach out to her? And, Matthew does not need to babysit me. I'm, 2 months older than him, first of all. I'm a grade older than him. I should be babysitting you, but, so it's pretty annoying, honestly, how Matthew is, always in control of everything with me. Anyways, we talk on the phone with Akshay.
If we feel that he is a little shaky or a little bit nervous, then we should probably split. But if we can sell him some plan, if Mitch sells him a plan to vote out me, then we should be able to go 4 strong.
He might play it either way because he thinks it's 3-3.
Oh.
So he might play it to save himself on a rock draw, because then he'd be safe for having a big rock even if we didn't vote for him.
Akshay to us claims he's on the rock bottom, they're all together, I'm number 7, blah blah. So Akshay, this is all from him telling us. I have no idea if this is true. I'm putting all my trust in Akshay. Akshay says he wants to make a move, which is great. The first person I wanted to vote out when we got our tribes was Alex Thal, because Alex Thal is in the Core 4 Neela Alliance. By voting him out, we're completely taking a stab at them finally. Not only getting a Neela out, but getting a big guy out and getting someone out of the Core 4, or 3 or 2 or 5 or 6, whatever the heck's going on there. Also gave the idea of splitting the votes. And this is where I'm Akshay, you're completely F-U-C-K-I-N-G with us. You want us to split the votes so then you 3 can vote one of us out. I'm how dumb do you think we are? But if that's not his plan, I get why splitting the votes, because for who has the idol on Neela, I don't even know who has it on my Zon, so to even speculate about Neela doesn't make sense. For who possibly has the idol on Neela, on our tribe, I would say Alex.
And I still don't think Akshay's gonna flip. For him to go through all this effort to lie to us the entire week, and to put on this kind of performance, would be very, very great. It still could, in order to pull that kind of thing off, he would have had to have talked to Thal and Lavana beforehand, before in a swap, before he knew it was gonna be a nice tribe. He'd have to be hey guys, if we swap, here's the plan. I'm gonna bash you guys the entire week, saying this to Thal and Lavana. I'm gonna throw you guys under the bus the entire week. I'm gonna toss out your name to the maze on 3. I'm gonna tell them that I'm voting you. But guys, don't worry. I'm actually gonna vote with you, and we're gonna get them to split. They can't. There's no way they would trust Akshay that much
let him go through with this plan, and for Thal and Levana to be in the know the entire time that Akshay's, pretending to play us or something like that.
So you're meeting Mitch tomorrow.
I'm completely not trying to work with Maison at all, just because I don't know these people. And then the one guy that I might have tried to work with, Nikhil, because we're both Indian, we had that initial connection, they already voted him out. So it's like, all right, now I really don't want to work with you. I was just like, I need to make it so that they think I'm on my side and they tell me what's happening. Just so that if there's an idol for Thal, then I can get him to play it for the right person. That was all I was thinking. I was just like, I just need to let them tell me who they're about to vote for. And Matthew bought it so fast, I was like, oh damn, this guy's more gullible than I was expecting, cool. So I'm just expecting him to be like, yeah, okay, the three of us will meet, we'll tell you what happened, and he's like, yeah, with you on our side, we can split the votes. And I was like, oh my god, they can split the votes. And I was like, yeah, split the votes. We should split the votes. That's a brilliant idea. I was like, Matthew, you're brilliant. And that way I'm just like, if it's 3 to 2 to 1, 3 Neela is the majority, oh my god, split the votes.
It'll be a 2-2 split on both of us. And then really, you will change your vote from whoever they wanted me to vote for to Mitch.
So I was trying to meet with more than just Matthew, because I think I had Matthew convinced, but Thal was talking with Mitch and Levana's talking with Brittany, so sort of.
And I talked to Matt a little. I know you reached out. You were talking with him after the challenge.
Did he tell you what I talked about?
A little bit, but vaguely. He's been really busy.
Do you want the whole story or the short story?
I want the whole story.
I have
plenty of time. So first of all, thank you for picking me first the other day. I was very honored.
You're welcome, of course. I felt like you had a good mental, physical, and social game.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I took it as a compliment.
I'm sorry.
Oh my god. The last time we talked was right after the challenge, and we both kind of came to the agreement that if we heard movement from either side, we tell each other. From my perspective, Akshay, Levana have been solid with you. I haven't talked to Akshay at all, and Levana told me that you guys are sticking together. So take that for what it's worth. Yeah.
So he pretended as if he had not talked to Akshay at all.
If he thinks that the Akshay plan is actually what's going down, then he was just bullshitting this whole conversation with me.
If he thinks Akshay is going down.
No, if he thinks Akshay's plan is going down.
But yes.
Akshay said last night that I asked him what he thinks the chances are that they actually think that his plan works. He says 33%. He's banking on that 33% happening. Otherwise, he is apparently fine with going to rocks.
With all the information that's been coming in today, and the amount of texts I've sent between myself and between Brittany and Mitch and Akshay, and the amount of time that I've thought about it, it's had me going back and forth. Like I said, 6 different times today where I was convinced, okay, now I know exactly what I want to do. I'm not going to feel 100% confident. I already know that going in. Any plan we have, there's going to be some risk involved. And, on Maison, the first couple votes, it's not like those votes were no risk at all. I felt safe. I didn't have to do any last-second scrambling. I wasn't, second-guessing and saying what are the different possibilities of how this vote could go. Thought about it a little bit for the Jess vote, but honestly, this one, like I said, there are so many different stipulations, and, it's this plan, and then if this happens and this happens. This is the decision tree that I have basically up right now. It just details what could happen and, try to do the net positives, the net negatives. Honestly, this isn't really getting me anywhere. So, like I said, within each case scenario, if we go to 2 to 2, if we go to 3 to 1, there are different subsets off of that. So if you go to 3 to 1, what happens if Thal caves? What happens if he doesn't cave? What happens if he plays an idol? What happens if he plays an idol for Levana? What happens if he doesn't play an idol? What happens if Akshay flips? What happens if Akshay doesn't flip? What happens if they vote for me? What happens if they vote for Mitch? What happens if they go to Rock? What happens if Thal caves and tries to write down Akshay's name? What happens if Thal doesn't cave? What happens if Akshay flips? What happens if Akshay doesn't flip? What happens if Thal plays an idol for himself? What happens if Thal plays an idol for Levana? What happens if Thal keeps his idol? What happens if Thal doesn't have an idol?
Okay. This is our backup plan. We call it Backup Plan Z. It's what we're going to do in the worst case scenario because I think it's the safest option. But what the plan entails is we're going to stick with Akshay and be like, we're voting Alex. This way, Akshay will put his vote for Alex. That's one vote Alex. Then we have to make Alex feel very uncomfortable, very unsafe, forcing Alex to play his possible idol. Mitch, Matthew, and I will then vote for Levana. So that's 3 votes Levana.
I was put in a really good tribe
for my game. However, Thal kind of got put in like a worst case scenario. I'm wondering how I can help. You know, I do have this guy right here, which could obviously come very handy for them tonight. You know, I think it's imperative that original Neela has the majority going into the merge. You know, and the idol is the best way to ensure that that can happen. But, you know, I really wanted to use this for myself, first of all, and it's so powerful to give away so early on in the game. Like, this could be a winning piece for me later on.
So this is very, very last minute, and by that I mean like literally seconds before I'm about to leave for tribal.
I am going to give my idol to Mitch tonight.
Thank you.
And I'm telling him like only play it for yourself. Try to protect
I mean, we both agree like it's in both our best interest not to have to play this week, but in this one situation, it's really the time that we would have to play it. So.
Agreed.
Lavana, you were the team captain for this new Neela tribe, and you are not off to the best start. You guys here at Tribal Council.
Thanks for the reminder, Joyce.
Do you think you made the right choice with who you picked?
To be honest, I do think I made the right choice on who I picked. I think I picked some very good physical competitors.
And me.
Yeah, and Akshay.
We're not supposed to agree to that.
And I think
we're so much more fun than us already.
We're
just so boring at our tribal.
See, there's like a good variety of flavor in this group. I think. Yeah, like I bring the fun, they bring the physical, and I bring the physical too.
Yeah, then I'm just there. I don't even know why I'm here.
Just, so I think I did pick a good group.
Well, the group is obviously, just from an outsider perspective, split 3-3. Old Neela, old Maison. You guys are even sitting. 3 Neela.
I was planning on sitting up there.
All right, just calling it out. Yeah, Mitch. Basically, from an outsider perspective, the obvious move here is have a trust with your old tribe members and go to rocks with a 3-3 vote.
Yes.
What's the problem with that?
Well, what you have to do is weigh the risk and reward of keeping the alliances you have, while also not wanting to go to rocks. And so I think we all had to ask ourselves this week, do we care more about having a possibly 1 in 4 shot of drawing a rock, or do we care more about taking that risk and then sticking with the people we've worked with all this game?
Well, Thal, obviously you guys had to talk, especially after the challenge. You need to have that line of communication. What was kind of the feeling? Was there an immediate, obvious, hey, we're not gonna, talk to the other tribe, or was it we should talk and see if we can have any flippers? Because obviously you need flippers.
Yeah, there was definitely talk. I think both tribes were pretty willing to talk to one another and see if there were any splinters in these original alliances, because if there are, then this can be a lot easier than a 3-3 split with rocks. So yeah, there was plenty of talk.
Well, obviously, Matthew, there's more than just 2 tribes. There's also idols. Is there a discussion about the idols?
Yes, there has been. I've heard it talked about. I think the tricky thing with idols is that only a person who has it knows exactly what's going to happen with it. And you can talk to people, you can make all the plans you want, but an idol can screw everything up, and it can be largely speculation and stuff like that. So definitely is a new wrinkle, which for some reason, idols have existed. They've been in since day one, but for some reason, as of late, and I think with the numbers so close, and on Old Maison, it was, everybody a lot of people felt like they were in the numbers, so there wasn't as much fear of an idol. Now that the numbers are so close, and honestly one idol play could ruin somebody's game, it's become a little bit more relevant.
So Akshay, does that...
Alright. Please continue.
Akshay, because these things are so close, because it's 3-3, is the idol a situation where you want to maybe find out who has it so you can play for your tribe, or do you want to avoid it and maybe get that person out who has an idol?
Well, first off, you always want to know who has the idol. You just personally, because that just makes everything way easier. Because right now you have a plan, and then there's this thing called the idol, which can ruin any single plan you've ever come up with. So just to not have your plan screwed up, because a lot of times you think it's a pretty good plan. You go, and then the idol gets played. I don't want that to happen. So I just want to know who has an idol. Both tribes. If those three are actually this person has the idol in our tribe, and we go, actually, yeah, we have the idol in our tribe. That'd be fantastic. I'd love that. But that's not gonna Survivor. The worst crapshoot in Survivor.
This is a total crapshoot.
Okay, Brittany, in what way is it a crapshoot?
I had a straight up conversation with someone, and we decided the conversation. We're not budging. You're not budging. Okay, I guess we're gonna see a bag of rocks. That's basically. There was impossible.
So, Mitch, is it going to rocks? Is this what we're doing, or is there anything else that could possibly happen today?
I hope that I can put my trust in Matthew and Brittany to, be unified like I think is the plan. That's all. I can only speak from my perspective, and my perspective does seem like it could go to rocks. Now, an idol's played for somebody, and if played correctly, it would obviously not go to rocks. So that's kind of where we're at.
Lavana, obviously Matthew and Mitch both went to the summit and probably got some information about your tribe. Is there anything that you got out of that, or do you think that's something they could use against you?
Why are you asking me? I wasn't at the summit.
but they were, is what I'm saying.
Wait, can you repeat that?
Or ask it to anyone else.
So Akshay.
Okay.
Same question.
You can ask me.
Yeah, so, it depends on the information that Tarowski and Cooper gave them, right? Did they give them true information? Did they try and not tell them anything? Did they give them, Tarowski and Cooper, real information? Is what Tarowski and Cooper said would happen what actually happened? Because it was just those four people, we have no idea what happened, honestly. And we have no idea what information they have, whether it's real or not, whether they can use it against us or not, or they could have information to screw us over completely. We have no idea.
Alright, well, seems like a stalemate, but we'll see how it goes. Let's get to the vote. Lavana, you're up first.
Me?
Hello, friends. Okay. Today, you're voting out this person.
Ugh. Okay, if this doesn't work out, then Thal, I'm gonna hate you forever. You're the reason that this vote is changing. I'm not crazy about that, because I don't think this person's a threat.
This whole week I thought it was me or you. 10 minutes ago, I thought it was you or Mitch. Now I think it's you. So I'm right.
Alright, I'll go tally the votes.
How did Jeff roast it?
I have to pee so bad.
Alright, if anybody has a hidden immunity idol and they want to play it, now would be the time to do so.
Why you gotta freak us out like that? I literally hate you people. Why was I on a tribe with you for 5 weeks?
Alright, once the votes are read, the decision is final. The person voted off will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. We'll get to the votes. First vote. Lavana. 1 vote, Lavana. Brittany. 1 vote, Lavana. 1 vote, Brittany. Lavana. 2 votes to Lavana. 1 vote, Brittany. Brittany. Levana. 3 votes Levana, 2 votes Brittany. 1 vote left. Brittany. 3 votes Levana, 3 votes Brittany. We have a tie. Alright, we are going to do a revote. Levana, Brittany, you will not cast a vote. We are only voting between Levana and Brittany. First up, Akshay.
My vote is already guaranteed.
Alright, I'll go tally the votes. Alright, this is the vote. First vote. Levana. Vote Levana. Brittany. Levana. 2 votes Levana, 1 vote Brittany. Levana. That's enough. Grab your torch. Levana. Well, with that, Hila loses an old member, but Kara is on her way to your tribe next. You will have a full, complete 6 members to face off against your Maison at the next challenge. Grab your stuff and head on out.
Next time on Survivor. Alex Thal does damage control.
What a weird setup.
And both tribes have a special present.
We were doing something a little bit different, just like last week.
I hate it when you do that.
Yeah, it sucks, right?
I am very shocked just because I did put my trust in Alex Thal. I don't think Akshay bailed on me. I think it was Alex Thal. Because I do think that he got paranoid last second. I think he was going to follow through with going to rocks. But then he kind of flipped because he was paranoid. Alex Thal, I am very tight at you. I thought we had something beyond this game too, friendship-wise, and maybe beyond that too. But I see how it is. If that's how you want to play it, that's how we will play it. Alex Thal.